Yo, it's Lofsky. Shout out Vengeance. We're at Castle right now. Let's go. So I grew up in Newmarket actually. Parents super like loving and solid. My dad's a jazz musician and my mother's actually a poet. So it's kind of jokes how like that those two worlds kind of came together with me. I started making music when I was 16. And yeah, like a lot of support like within the family. Just like middle class. Strong. Both my parents have like really strong work ethics, and like they really like pushed me to like work hard, and yeah, like ever since like I've kind of grown up and matured, like they've really supported what I'm doing now. So yeah. I feel like I kind of just answered the question a little bit, but at the same time too, so like music was always around, but I was always into a lot of different genres. Like I said, so my dad's a jazz musician, so like I always accepted and was interested in like kind of different sounds. I started playing the piano really young, like doing like the conservatory shit, like classical stuff. But like my first music that I was actually attracted to is interesting was like pop punk and rock and shit. So it's kind of funny how because I never thought I would make pop punk ever, and now like I'm making more like pop punk records, but like with a hip hop influence. So yeah, like I was always super like interested in music and knew I wanted to be a part of music, but I never really like believed in myself until Odd Future came out, and that's when I started trying in high school. Yeah. I don't know. I guess like alternative hip hop, alternative trap, but I do a lot of different like genres too. Like I just mentioned, like the pop punk stuff. I have pop records. I haven't been producing as much, but like and not everybody knows this, but I am a producer as well and engineer. So I do a lot of my engineering. And then the way that I approach records, like even if I'm just recording on it, it's still like in that kind of sense. Like I'm usually trying to like mix stuff. So like I don't know, it's like kind of a blend of. There's definitely R&B, pop, some punk, hip hop, trap, like bit of indie rock, like alternative, like I don't know. I try to just genre bend as much as I can and just kind of mess around. Like I have tons and tons of demos that no one will ever hear, but like I'd always rather fuck around and make something that I don't like than like not try something experimental. So that's actually my last name. Yeah. So and I used to go by like my full name, Lofsky, but as I got older, like I just figured that one word was better. And also what's cool too is like, yeah, because a lot of people, if they don't like know that, I get asked that all the time, like, oh, how did it come from? Or people like mispronounce my name. So there's a lot of like different conversation starters. So yeah, that's what I roll with. Top 3 favorite artists all time. Frank Ocean, Lil Wayne, and probably have to go with like A$AP Rocky. Just for like overall like influence on like my music and everything, yeah. So I'd say a lot of different people, like different things I've been listening to over the years, but like yeah, like I mentioned earlier, Odd Future for sure gave me like the confidence. Cause like early Odd Future Wolfgang, like they were just wild, bro. Like this shit, yeah, they were saying really, really crazy shit that like you could not, like if they had come out in 2023, canceled immediately, right? So like that gave me a lot of confidence too, cause like, you know, I had no ability. I had like, no one like thought, you know, like I would be like an artist or anything. So like I had to really start from scratch. So that just gave me a lot of confidence just to try something completely different and open my mind up to what was possible. My favorite project? So like so far, I'd say Timeless, but like to be honest, like yeah, my new project, and I don't have a title for it yet, but I'm dropping like 3 projects this year. Yeah, like I said, there's no title yet, but probably that, because like all my records that I've been making since like 2022 and 2023 are like some of my favorite work. The consistency is just a lot stronger. Like every part of the artistic process and creative stuff, I think is just like on point. So I guess the unreleased, and yeah, no title, but you know, it's coming, it's on the way. Oh yeah, that's a great question. So 2018 is when that came out. 2015, I contacted Lucky, and I got this. I had the feature. I'd worked with Mick already before. I got a feature from him, and then so like at that time I was going through a lot of shit. I was like in and out of rehab, so I wasn't like thinking clearly. Definitely wasn't bringing my A game, and I really didn't like what I did on the stuff, like the track that we made at that time. So basically, what I did in 2018, I was making a lot more beats. And so I made the beat, basically I found Lucky's acapella, and then I made the beat around his voice. then I had my part, and I hit up Mick for a hook, and yeah, it all just kind of came together. And I was really surprised at the amount of support we got from that. Like, and I thought it was really cool connecting those two artists, because like obviously they're very aware of each other, being from Chicago, but like those are two people that like had never worked together and like would have never worked together. So I thought that like, I don't know, yeah, it was kind of like a creative direction move, and it worked. But what was hilarious too is a lot of like when people were covering like hot new hip hop and Elevator and shit, they didn't even realize that like some of them were just like saying like, oh, producer Lofsky. They didn't even realize I had like the middle verse. So honestly, it's not my favorite record at all. Like I think I have like way better records, but for like something different and as like a production perspective and just like early stages of like figuring out kind of outside of the box moves, I think it's like it's cool. Yeah. Anyone? Oh, Frank Ocean. Yeah, I think that'd be crazy. I don't know, yeah, because he's so exclusive and he doesn't really like, you know, he only works with people that are close with him. So that would imply that like I had a relationship with Frank Ocean. And yeah, I don't know, like I would just love to pick his brain. Even if we weren't like making music, just to like kind of learn more about like his perspective on the world and creative stuff, I think would be really interesting. So yeah, I have to go with him. Okay. But there's too many to name, to be honest. There's a lot of people I want to work with. So I actually don't write. I just freestyle. I punch in bar for bar, which I mean, like a lot of people do that. But I found that it made me just get so much better at making music, and I'm a lot more faster, creative, and it forces me to, I like going into sessions with like zero plan, but at the same time too, I've also been thinking as well, like I'm like, oh, am I holding myself back by like, cause how I got better was like just like actually just writing all the time. So I don't know, yeah, I might start introducing like just writing down like a bit more like rough ideas and just kind of having them ready to go, and like, but kind of approaching it the same way, like come into a session and then just be willing to freestyle as much as we can, and then if a section happens to work on the topic or something. But for now, I'll probably just be punching in. But yeah, that's my process. What I like about I've just met so many cool people. There's a lot of like just solid people that I've met in Toronto. A lot of different, interesting perspectives, and like all walks of life. And like you never know like what you're gonna hear and what's gonna shape how you do things. Even like I was saying it was funny, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier that I went to audio school with, and he's out in London now. He's doing like brand development and artist stuff and all kinds of different things, not really making as much music now. But like something that he told me, and he would drill me with questions when I was like getting more serious about it in like 2015 even, and like just about what my brand is, what my audience is, all that stuff. And like you never know like a lot of the things that people like just pass on like the lessons and like when they'll hit. But I do think that we have a lot of solid artists here. I think there's a lot of really talented people in like every aspect of music, whether that's industry stuff, whether that's the creation, the direction, the videography, photography, branding, marketing, all that stuff. Like it's really just, I think what needs to happen is just us coming together more in like situations like this. So yeah, once again, shout out Vengeance, bro, making it happen. What's in the works? So I have a single with Dylan Ponders coming out in February. I've got a crazy single dropping next week, Up at Night. I really like that song. A video's coming for that. Got another single that I really like called Back Home, dropping in March. And just like tons of events. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping at least like one project, hopefully 3 projects this year. Tons of shows, all kinds of stuff. Gonna bring back the reaction videos here, and then once I can budget it, I'll be doing it in the States too, because that's definitely where the bag is. And yeah, just like, I don't know, just what you can really expect from me is just a lot of growth, a lot of new music, and like, yeah, I don't half-ass anything. So if I'm putting it, like, I only put out stuff that I really believe in and I think has longevity. So yeah, just, you know, going forward, I'm super excited. And yeah, you know, I'm just gonna keep doing my thing. That's it. All right, y'all. Appreciate you for watching, and you know, stay tuned with Vengeance. We've got a lot more content on the way just now.